Hey, I just want to share with you some thoughts that I've been having about lack and abundance. And I'm going to share kind of some of the aha moments that I've had, and then I want to bring it back full circle and talk about how this mentality, lack versus abundance, how that influences whether or not our body is in a state that cultivates healing or whether we're in a state that cultivates illness or pain, suffering. So about a year ago, I had this realization. I was watching my daughter tube behind the boat. And it was just her on the tube. I forget what exactly had happened. She had some friends up at the lake earlier that week, but this time she was all on her own. And I remember just looking out, feeling like I was really sad for her. Like I really wanted her to have a friend out there on the tube with her. And I had this realization that like every time I have the desire or the wish for something in my life to be different than what it is in that moment, I'm in a mindset of lack. Because what's happening in that moment is that I'm actually feeling powerless to create what I actually want to be experiencing in my life. I feel it's like a lack of control. I'm feeling like I have no control or no power over my experience in that moment. So fast forward, I shared in my network a few days ago a video of my son in 2019. We were at Silver Beach Pizza in St. Joe, Michigan, and if any of you have been there, you know that the train goes by like really close, like 10 feet away from that restaurant. And we were sitting at a table, and all of a sudden this train started to go by, and my son just lit up with joy and got super excited. And toward the end of the video, he kept saying, "I can't believe this is happening to me." Like he was just so excited. And that video came up in my memories this week. And so I've been watching it like I think 2 or 3 times a day since it came up again. And I was wondering like why I'm so drawn to this video, and I realized it's because it gives me a really easy access to a feeling of abundance when I watch this video, because like in that moment he is so content and so happy and so excited to be experiencing this train 10 feet away from him that there's no wish for anything in his world to be any different than what he is experiencing in that moment. And you know, as I sat with that, I realized like how unusual that is for me to be in such a state of contentment that I don't ever wish for anything to be different than it is. And from there, I started realizing that the majority of the time that I do yoga or I meditate or I eat healthy foods, it's coming from a place of I want to do yoga because I want to feel the way that yoga makes me feel. But it's not assuming that I already feel good in my body. It's that I feel this way, and I know that when I'm done doing yoga, I'm going to feel this way. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's not a bad reason to engage in healthy behaviors. But for me, I was recognizing that my intention to get on my yoga mat often comes from a mindset of lack, of being unhappy with the way that I'm feeling and wanting to feel something different. Same thing with meditation. Same thing with sugar. Like I've historically had a really big sweet tooth in my life, and so often sugar for me as a kid, as a young adult, was a way to like kind of satiate this feeling of like not being overly joyful and happy in my life. And then I started thinking about it from the perspective of like going to the doctor. Like most of us go to the doctor because we don't feel good and we want to feel better, and that is coming from also from a mindset of lack. It's very rare for someone to go to the doctor because we already feel amazing and we just want to feel even better. And even anytime that we experience pain in our body, symptoms, uncomfortable symptoms, whatever they may be, there's often almost immediately a wish or a desire to get rid of the symptoms, to not feel that way, to want to feel something different in our bodies, which also comes from a place of lack. And so I started asking myself, what would it be like to experience my life, all aspects of my life, my health, how my body feels, my work, my relationships? What would it be like to experience my life on a daily basis that feels so incredible that I'm constantly feeling and speaking, I can't believe this is happening to me, like my son said in that video, and what a wonderful, joyous experience that would be. And what if I got on my yoga mat thanking my body for feeling and moving as amazing as it already does, and knowing that through the process of being on my mat and through moving my body, it was going to feel even more amazing. What if that was the mentality through which or the lens through which we looked at our world? How amazing, how abundant that would be.